For the past 2 days, trilateral talks brokered by Washington and held between Ukraine and Russia have been taking place in Geneva. While the first day ran long and late into the evening, day two wrapped up within just a couple of hours. US envoy Steve Witkoff expressed optimism where Kyiv and Moscow exited these talks, describing them as difficult.
There is progress, but no details can be disclosed at this stage. The next step is to achieve the necessary level of consensus to submit the developed decisions for consideration by the presidents. Our task is to prepare a practical, not merely formal, foundation for this. Ukraine remains constructive. The ultimate objective is unchanged, a just and sustainable peace.
They were difficult but businesslike. The next meeting will be held in the near future.
We understand that the key discussion points revolved around the position of the front line, what sort of security guarantees the US would give Kyiv if a peace deal was signed, and also that contentious issue of territory. Russia wants the Donbass, which includes both the Donetsk and the Luhansk regions, given to it if any sort of peace deal is signed. Now, that is unpalatable to Kyiv, not just because large swathes of that region is still held by Ukrainian forces, but if it gives up that territory, what else will Russia take, and does it leave Kyiv vulnerable to a future Russian invasion?
It's hard to see how they're going to come to an agreement unless, I think, one of two things happens. Either there's a really dramatic change on the ground, there's some big breakthrough either one side or the other makes, which convinces the other that, they're better off to just wind this up rather than try and keep fighting on. Or Trump finds a way to put so much pressure on the Ukrainians and maybe the Europeans that in the end they cave in and they give Putin what he wants.
I think if we look at the people in the room, just how far they are down the chain of command in terms of seniority in these two administrations, it gives us an indication of just how far we have to go in this peace process until we see perhaps the second in command to President Putin or President Zelensky, or even those two men themselves. I think we have some way to go. And as these peace talks got underway, and for the entire duration of them, we continued to see Russia hit civilian targets and energy infrastructure in Ukraine, leading many to question just how serious Moscow is about achieving a peace deal as this war heads towards entering its fifth year.